Welcome to Draw the Logic, where we make complex ideas visual. Today, the protocol quietly powering almost every AI agent you've heard of. Claude can write you an essay about your calendar. It just can't look at your calendar. Every AI model has this exact same problem. Brilliant at thinking, completely cut off from doing. In November 2024, one protocol changed that for the entire industry. Here's the actual math behind the pain. Say you've got 5 AI models and 10 tools they need to talk to. Without a shared standard, that's 5 times 10, 50 custom integrations. Every new model, every new tool multiplies the mess. Developers called this the N times M problem. The fix is almost boring in its simplicity. Agree on one shared protocol, and the math changes completely. Instead of M times N, it becomes M plus N. 5 models, 10 tools. That's 15 connections, not 50. Every model and every tool just needs to speak this one protocol once. Anthropic open-sourced the Model Context Protocol on November 25, 2024, spec, SDKs, and reference servers, free for anyone to build on. It didn't stay Anthropic's alone for long. OpenAI added support in early 2025. Google DeepMind followed that spring. And by May, Microsoft built it natively into Windows 11 itself. Under the hood, MCP has 3 players. The host is the AI app itself, Claude, ChatGPT, your code editor. Inside it, a client keeps one dedicated connection open per tool. On the other end, a server exposes what it can actually do: read a file, query a database, send a message. One host can run many clients, each talking to its own server. Every single message between them speaks the same tiny language, JSON RPC, a decades-old standard for asking one system to run a function on another and get an answer back. No new wire format to invent. Every request carries an ID, a method name, and parameters. Every response echoes that same ID back with a result. Before a model can use a tool, it has to know the tool exists. The client sends a request called tools list. The server answers with a menu. Every tool it offers, what it needs is input, and what it returns. Nothing ever gets called blind. Once the model decides which tool it needs, the client sends tools call, with the tool's name and its arguments. The server actually does the work, hits an API, reads a file, runs a query, and sends the result straight back through that same channel. Tools change over time. A server can push a notification, "My tool list just changed," without the client ever having to ask. It's a one-way heads up, no response expected, keeping the model's picture of what's available always current. How do these messages actually travel? 2 main ways. If the tool lives right there on your machine, MCP uses a direct local pipe called SDDIO, fast and simple. If the tool lives somewhere remote, it travels over HTTP, the same protocol that runs the entire web. Giving an AI the ability to act is powerful and risky. MCP servers are supposed to get only scope permissions, like a login that can read your calendar but never delete your files. But researchers have already found real weak points. A malicious tool description can trick a model into leaking data, or a poisoned server can smuggle in hidden instructions. This is still an open problem the whole industry is actively working on. This isn't a lab experiment anymore. OpenAI ships MCP support inside ChatGPT. Google's Gemini tools support it too. And at Build 2025, Microsoft went further than anyone, building MCP natively into Windows 11, with its own registry, so any app can discover the MCP servers already sitting on your machine. Anthropic shipped reference servers for Slack, GitHub, Google Drive, and Postgres, and the community exploded from there. Today there are thousands of MCP servers, covering nearly anything you'd ever want an AI to touch. But more tools doesn't mean flawless tools. A 2025 benchmark called MCP Toolbench tested how AI agents actually perform across thousands of real MCP servers, and found a real gap between a tool call that looks correct and one that actually works. Syntax isn't the hard part anymore. Reliability is. MCP is still young and still moving fast. The specification has already been revised multiple times through 2025 and into 2026, tightening security, simplifying connections, adding new capabilities. The core idea, though, hasn't changed. One shared language, so AI doesn't have to reinvent the handshake every single time. So that's MCP, one open protocol, turning M times N custom integrations into M plus N, so any AI model can plug into any tool through the same three-part handshake: host, client, server. It's not perfect, and it's not finished, but it's fast becoming the language every AI agent speaks to touch the real world. If this video gave you a clearer picture of how MCP actually works, please like it, share it with anyone building with AI, and subscribe to Draw the Logic for more visual deep dives every week. Thank you for watching.